And our conversation is with 6th District Congressman Greg Pence. He joins us now via telephonic device. There's so many ways to speak and connect nowadays. Does it ever hurt your head, Congressman?
Yeah, it actually does. You know, juggling all the different communications. And Steve, I'll share a little personal information with the viewers. Mm-hmm. I have 3 very prolific texting daughters.
Okay.
That kind of over communicate with Dad on a regular basis.
Do they ever speak to you via text from within the household? Has that ever happened? You're laughing because it's true. I can tell already.
Yeah. Well, the youngest is 33, and yes, they do that. So,
understood.
Hey, I'm right here.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into some business here. This is Greg Pence, Congressman, talking about the one of the decisions made by the new president of the United States, Mr. Biden, and the administration's ban on American oil and gas leases. You issued an opinion on that, and I wanted to talk to you a little more about that today.
Well, you know, I try to represent everybody in the Indiana 6th District, and you and I we avoid partisanship on when we talk here, but you know, we worked real hard over the last decade to become energy independent, and one of the ways we did that is we opened up some drilling, and we were able to do that safely. Like Keystone Pipeline, which has been in the news, is a pipeline that would move product from Canada down to the Gulf of Mexico, down to Houston, and it would move it safely. It's a buried pipe. People talk about that. But, you know, it's that energy independent. I don't want us to go backwards on this. You know, I'm old enough to remember the 70s, 73, 79, when OPEC held us hostage and the cost of product went through the roof, and we had shortages because we weren't energy independent. And I just wanted to make a statement and say, hey, let's be a little careful here. I understand that the Democratic Party sees things a little differently than I do when it comes to carbon. But, you know, all of the above is a solution, but it doesn't need to be a solution right now. It's like the coal industry in southern Indiana is very dependent on coal. They've cleaned it up. If you've gone down to Madison, Indiana, which is in the Indiana 6th District, that's just steam coming out of the coal plant. They've cleaned it with the scrubbers. Let's not just throw everything out here right away.
How specifically, the Keystone situation, how specifically might that affect members? Are you okay? You need to take a drink or something?
No, I choked on my words.
Okay.
That's typical. More politicians ought to do that. Right?
I was wondering the Keystone Pipeline situation, how that specifically may impact, members of the 6th District specifically.
Yeah, that's interesting, Steve. I got asked that question a couple times. I wouldn't say it would, but we don't want a precedent that we don't want our domestic oil industry to be hampered and their hands tied. That oil is going to go somewhere else. It's going to go out into the international market. We now are an exporter. So will it affect us directly here as far as supply? No. Could it possibly affect the cost of product that we pay down the road because we're no longer as competitive out in the world? It's possible. And, I've spent many years, as you know, I was actually bought and sold the product for Circle K's 4,600 gas stations. So I want to be a little cautious and not get too much into the weeds here. But as a net exporter, we pay lower for our gasoline at the pump and for our natural gas that heats our home.
All right, Congressman Greg Pence, my guest. You're on the Energy and Commerce Committee now, and that matters to members of the 6th District in what ways, sir? Yeah,
great. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, we work real hard. In the House of Representatives, the A committees are Ways and Means and Energy and Commerce. And the reason they call them A, or the primary committees, is because all bills have to go through those at some point or another. And jurisdiction for rural broadband and highway funding is found in the Energy and Commerce. While we would write the bills when I was in transportation infrastructure, I knew and I learned and I worked to get on Energy and Commerce where we would actually be able to fund those things. And the jurisdiction of rural broadband has been something I've championed, and of course, Crossroads America in Indiana, we want to keep our roads top of the list across the country.
6th District Congressman Greg Pence, my guest. You are obviously spending a lot of your time. Your work is in D.C. You also spend time in the district as well, talking to people face-to-face whenever you can safely do that. But I was wondering, Congressman, has the mood in Washington, D.C. noticeably changed since the inauguration, and how do you think it's going to feel moving forward for getting the work of the country done?
Yeah, I'm very, very disappointed in. I will tell you, I have said in the past, folks said to me, hey, can't the Republicans and Democrats get together? Can't they work things out? And I've said, well, they always have trouble doing that. That's nothing new. What was new the last 2 years was what I would call the Progressive Party within the Democratic Party was very divided. They were fighting with each other. One of the reasons we couldn't get a COVID bill passed last summer, had to wait till December, is because the progressives wanted a whole lot more that had nothing to do with fighting COVID or getting small businesses back opened up. But it's no secret to folks right now, the Republican Party is very divided. So we have a divided Democrat Party and we have a divided Republican Party. That's not the way I roll, Steve. We got to work things out. The good news is that this Energy and Commerce Committee is known for its getting things done and working things out, because they have to. If anything wants to get out of Congress, it's got to go through here and got to get done. So for me personally, I was in the minority for 2 years. I'm still in the minority, but I'm on a committee that I think we'll hammer things out and we'll get it done, which is what we need to do for the American people.
Last couple of minutes we have with Greg Pence here. I thought this is the first time that we've spoken since the inauguration itself. Maybe some comments and thoughts on the inauguration itself.
Yeah, I didn't attend, and then as you and I spoke back, I stayed here and welcomed my brother. The event was very, very closed, and then there were no celebrations around it. So I felt it was a little more important to kind of put together a welcome home for my brother that afternoon. President Biden was very kind and let my brother fly home on Air Force Two, actually the very same plane with the same tail numbers that he had flown out there 4 years ago. And I introduced him. We said a prayer. So the day was a big day welcoming my brother home. He announced he's going to stay in Indiana. And I said, as I said, good luck, God bless to President Biden. And hopefully we can heal some of the wounds that have reared their ugly head in the last number of years.
All right. Thanks for the time. And again, for those in the 6th District that need to reach out to you, there's a bunch of different ways to do that, right, Congressman?
Best way, Steve, is go to pence.house.gov. It has our office location, our cell numbers, and our emails where they can call, visit, or write. Congressman Greg Pence, thanks again for the time, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Steve. Bye-bye.